Okay, so they just had Gamescom and they revealed the new crossover for Monster Hunter Wilds, which everyone should have expected to be Final Fantasy 14. So I'm just gonna react to this trailer because I've already seen it, but I'm just gonna give my thoughts and whatever. This was an emergency announcement as well. Okay, we saw that. I assumed it was gonna be Chocobos because of the Sacred. That was just kind of a no-brainer. I do browse the Monster Hunter leaks Reddit occasionally, and this guy, the Cactar, was still in the files for this game. So that was another, you know, sign. And this was when I realized it wasn't going to be Bahamut. I don't have anything against Omega, right? But this kind of just feels out of place for Monster Hunter. And that's saying a lot, because Monster Hunter is a game series entirely devoted about destroying giant dragons, T-Rexes, dinosaurs, creatures with just like normal weapons. Well, quote-unquote normal weapons. So to add a giant robot thing into it, it comes off more as sci-fi than it does in the realm of... Because, like, obviously Monster Hunter isn't, like, super realistic, but, like, the creatures themselves are somewhat realistic. They're based on things that we have, like Valhazak had the... I forget what the breakdown was, but it was, like, the eel, or the jaw of an eel, and, like, the skeletal structure head of a anglerfish or something like that. But like adding just like a giant machine thing, kind of. I understand why they didn't want to add Bahamut, because it'd be really hard to convince people Bahamut wasn't an Elder Dragon. I just would have assumed Bahamut was an Elder Dragon. Because if Behemoth was, then obviously Bahamut would have had to be. This is gonna be interesting, because I used to play a lot of Final Fantasy 14. I can't wait to see people fail left and right mechanics. I don't know how competent people in Monster Hunter are, but people in 14, not the greatest at figuring out what starboard and larboard are. Turns out. That's gonna look so fun to EI Spirit Counter, I'm not gonna lie. And this stuff is just stuff we knew, I think. So, because they announced this, does that mean this is going to be the monster for Total Update 3, or are we still getting something else? Because I don't know if I would consider... Like, it is a new monster, don't get me wrong, but... It's kind of an event versus just getting another monster. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm excited and kind of like, is that the monster slot for this update? The only way I'll be satisfied is if Omega is like Behemoth level hard. Because that was the hardest fight in the world for a really long time. They do have a 14 trailer, but I'm not going to watch that because I don't give a shit about 14 anymore. I'm not struggling, but I'm trying to find many reasons to actually re-download it to get what I hope is Arkveld as the mount. But yeah, that was pretty much everything about the trailer, and now I'm going to talk about what maybe they could have added instead. I feel like any of the primals would have worked better. I don't know if they'll do like a interview or something explaining why Omega is the chosen boss slash fight they decided to port over, but they could have done Ifrit, however you want to say it, because Final Fantasy 16 just happened. They already have a new model for that. That could have been easily put into the Oil Basin. They could have done Leviathan on a much grander scale. That could have been like a siege fight, kind of. Think of the level 50 trial, but in Monster Hunter. I'll play this back and just mute it, so then you're not staring at a screen that's, what you call it. They could have added Garuda and put her in the... I guess the Scarlet Forest would have been fine. I don't really see her in the Wildspire Waste. Or whatever this place is called. It's called the Wildspire Waste. They could have had... what else? I'm blanking on Primal right now. I can't really... Because I haven't played that game in forever. I'm also just trying to think of icons you get in 16. But yeah, you get the idea. There's like so many other things that I feel like would have fit better in terms of the slot for the crossover. Because I understand they don't want to do dragons, because they don't want like elder dragons in the base game. I don't know if they'll add them into the expansion, but everything I can immediately think of about Final Fantasy is like a dragon of some sort. Not gonna lie. Like Bahamut, Tiamat, Midgard. There's Behemoth, or not Behemoth, Bahamut. There's Golden Bahamut. There's all the forms of Bahamut. Oh, Titan's another one. Who would go into the Sandy Plains, though? I can't think of anything right now. I don't want this video to be like eight hours long, so I'm just going to end it there. But yeah, let me know if you guys are excited, disappointed, expected something else. I know there's a lot of people on the leaks Reddit that don't like Final Fantasy for whatever reason. Or they just didn't want to get another Final Fantasy crossover, which is fair, I guess, but you could kind of tell that that's what was going to be the crossover, given how it went last time and how I think Yoshi P was like, oh, next time we'll go even bigger. But yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts and 2 cents on this announcement. Alright, peace.